This week has been anything but slow. We'll talk about things like PitchBlack and Nvidia and Adidas and Inc. magazine on Portland. There's all kinds of stuff happening this week in Portland startups and tech, so let's get right into it. You're going to show up to every holiday party. You're going to be like the most interesting person there. You're going to be like, let me tell you what's going on in the Portland startup community. I know so many things. I know so many companies. And if you subscribe, you'll be that interesting all year round, not just at the holiday parties. So, usually the top story of the week is a story I actually published this week. But you know what? We published a really big story. I published a really big story on Friday, Black Friday, which was Stephen Green announcing that applications are open for PitchBlack 2024. If you're not familiar with PitchBlack, it is the largest single-day pitch event for Black entrepreneurs and Black founders on the West Coast. It's held right here in the Portland area. This year it's out at Beaverton again, brings a huge crowd, lots of amazing companies. Applications are currently open for that, and they'll close December 12th. And that was the biggest trending story this week. Obviously, people are excited about PitchBlack. I'm excited about PitchBlack. I can hardly wait. Mark your calendar. PitchBlack will be February 7th out in Beaverton, and I hope to see you there. I'll definitely be there checking out all the cool startups, and I hope you will be too. So here's a weird one. I published about the founder and CEO of Nvidia, thinking that it would be a hugely popular story because the New Yorker did a piece on him. But apparently there's somebody in the Portland area who's even more popular than Jensen Huang. And that person is Meredith Malnick. Yeah, hard to believe, but Meredith took the time to fill out a Hello Portland Startup Community profile, and that story was way bigger than the write-up on the Nvidia founder. So there, it just goes to show you, people love the Hello Portland Startup Community profile. So get yours in so that you too can be more popular than Aloha High School and Oregon State alum Jensen Huang, founder and CEO of Nvidia. But also read the Nvidia piece. It's a great piece. New Yorker. Great piece. Lots of people didn't even know that Jensen was from around here, that he went to Aloha High, didn't know he was an Oregon State Beaver. And I won't even mention anything about, Meredith being a U of O grad and Jensen being an Oregon State grad, because I know the rivalry game's still a little too soon. Oh, full disclosure, I'm the co-founder of Built Oregon. We announced our kind of new board roster with a bunch of amazing people, some new board members, some people kind of shifting seats. Really good board this year. I'm really excited. Mitch Doherty did a great job of recruiting some new board members who will be familiar to many of you. Some new faces who you may not be familiar with, but all in all, a really great group of people that I'm really looking forward to working with, and looking forward to having them work with the consumer products industries here in Oregon. Those are things like food and beverage, apparel, footwear. Speaking of footwear, segue. Don't know if you know this, but that's not the segue I wanted to take. And speaking of consumer products, important event happening this weekend, My People's Market. It's the annual big holiday My People's Market, taking place Saturday and Sunday at the Oregon Convention Center. If you're looking to do some Christmas shopping, that's a great place to do it. Maybe spend some time down there. Who knows? Maybe I'll run into you at My People's Market. I try and go and, do a little Christmas shopping, kind of not procrastinate, get some stuff done. Should be a great event. So please, if you can, make time to head on over to the convention center this weekend and grab some gifts and support some amazing founders. They've got food, they've got crafts, they've got jewelry, they've got beverages. Speaking of beverages, today is the last First Friday of 2023. That means if you're listening to this in time, or if you have a DeLorean with a flux capacitor, there is the first Friday of the month at Upstart Collective happening around happy hour. I believe it's 5 o'clock or so. I'll make sure to link it up so that you know. But if you're interested in connecting with a bunch of people from the startup community, kind of pre-funking the My People's Market stuff, head on over to Upstart Collective this evening to hang out with folks in the community. Always a great get together, and they'll continue doing those First Fridays. 4 First Fridays as far as the eye can see, as far as I know. But if you're listening to this on the weekend, maybe you got so excited about the My People's Market stuff, you just ran off to My People's Market and didn't even think about anything else in this podcast. And now you're suddenly coming back to it and you're like, what else did I miss? There will be a social beer next week for you to get together with people from the Portland Startup Slack. Sure, you type at them all day, type, at reply, thread, all the Slacky stuff with them. But what if you could hang out with them in real life? Now you can. December 7th at Migration Brewing around 6:30. That one runs a little later, 6:30 to 9:30 or so. So, you got time to get off work, eat dinner, go out, hang out with people from the Portland Startup Slack. So I encourage you to go there. So those are the beverage things, the beverage side of consumer products. What about the footwear side of consumer products? Well, I'm glad you asked, because Adidas, who you may know, has, their North American headquarters here in Portland. They just announced a cohort of a new accelerator program. I think it's the second time they're doing the accelerator program, but the first time they're doing it right here in Portland. Kind of harkens back to those days when, not the 3 stripes, but the swoosh did the accelerator stuff here in town with Techstars. This is really focused on companies that are getting people in the outdoors, getting people active, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to read the list because I want to make sure and highlight each of the companies that were selected for that. Black Excellence Group, Big Yard Foundation, Flow in the City, Friday Outdoors, People of Color Outdoors, Play It Safe Flagging Systems, Por La Aventura, and Street Soccer. So congrats to all those folks who made it into the Adidas Accelerator. I don't know if they're going to do a demo day or like what the other side of this looks like, but I'll make sure and track on it so that we can all show up and support them and support Audi and all that. It's great to see that accelerator taking place in Portland. We've even got Inc. magazine paying attention to Portland startups this week. So what does Inc. have to say? Well, Inc. magazine took a look at all of you doing Portland startup-y kind of things, and they came up with a list of companies that they think we should all be paying attention to in 2024. I got to tell you, I don't disagree. I always think you should be paying attention to Portland startups. That's why I do this. I'd like to read that list to you as well, because I don't want to miss anybody. I don't want to do it by memory. I'm kind of old. But the companies that Inc. believes we should be paying attention to in the Portland startup community in 2024 are Chain Starters, Conductor One, Aconia Labs, Grid Rival, Open Context, Orca Security, Qualtic, Radius, Rally, Reclaim AI, Ren Energy, Year One. So congrats to all those folks for that recognition in a national publication. That's nothing to sneeze at. No. But seriously, congrats to all those folks. It's nice to see them getting the recognition at that level. I hope everybody checks out each and every one of those companies. I hope there are some new ones for you on that list that maybe you haven't heard of or haven't checked out. And hope the Inc. recognition helps them, not only for local folks to start appreciating them more, but also for maybe driving more business and all that kind of stuff. Look at all that. I'm flying through this. I'm getting this done. There's so much going on, but I know you don't have much time. So I'm just trying to help you out, trying to keep you informed. Getting a little nostalgic, but it's happening again. The momentum's coming back. I don't know how many times I've been through this cycle. It's been a few, but it's like we get going and get going and get going, then something happens and everything kind of quiets down, slows down, and then the energy starts picking up again. And I feel like we're there. Just look at this week. I mean, end of November, and it's crazy busy. Things were supposed to slow down after Thanksgiving, and yet here we are. Lots of stuff going on. That's it. this week. I seriously doubt I kept this under 10 minutes. I apologize. I know you have a lot to do. In addition to, all your work and your startuping and all that stuff, I'm sure you have holiday stuff to do too. So I'm really sorry to have kept you this long, but I hope all of this was valuable. I don't know if next week's going to be as busy, but it might be. Who can tell? But I'll keep tracking on it for you and trying to provide you with kind of a recap of what's going on so that you don't have to spend all week keeping an eye on stuff. That's what I'm here. That's what I'm doing for you. As usual, it's great to see you. Thanks for making time to swing by and or listen in on the podcast. Hope you're doing well. Hope you got a little downtime last week, got to relax a little bit. And don't forget, if you listen to this on Friday, first Fridays at Upstart Collective, don't forget to go to My People's Market to do some shopping. Don't forget to read about all those interesting startups that I listed. And don't forget that Meredith Malnick is more popular than the founder of Nvidia. Cool. That's it for this week. Hope you're doing well. Hang in there. And until next time, please keep up the good work.